game on. It's game on. We are big on sports. Big on sports.
In the mix with the Conk Machica. Yeah, so nice.
I think, what, 1999? 1998. Game on Extra, the final day of the month. That is September 30th, 2017. You can see the vibe down here in studio, and I'm telling you, it's all blazing with the hits coming through. Which year was that song, Conk Machica?
I think early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s. I can't pinpoint which one.
I tell you what, for the first time in a very long while, you've gotten DJ Jermaine, another DJ, on the block, off his seat, and he just can't help it.
You have no idea how much he resists getting off that seat because he knows he's here in a different capacity.
Let's tell you what, is it because of...
This guy is a dancer.
Is it because of the whole, display from your music selection, or is it just him just in a happy mood?
I think he knows good music.
He must have gotten some. DJ Jermaine, morning, how are you?
Seriously, gotten some?
He must have gotten some, yeah, some happy days. You see where he's actually going with that.
Let me put it
I tell you what, all happy days.
Yes, I agree with Leon. It must have been a good Friday that I'm good enough to be able to be dancing
all the way
to good music.
Absolutely.
Another famous character in Leon Ssenyange, famous in a way, I should say, behind the wheels. But morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great Saturday morning. Interesting week it was, but definitely month end. So I guess there's money at the end of the month.
Does that explain your morning vibes?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. My landlord is also watching the show, so not yet.
So much lined up for you. Of course, it is a show powered by City Oil, rather City Tires, and you can have this, of course, by answering a question in regards to Formula One. Remember, the grand finale at the Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi, and you could be part of that particular, should I say, adventure. All you have to do is just come through and call through and answer those questions, and you could be one of the winners. And the lucky winners, you've got to buy 4 Pirelli tires at any City Tire outlet, and you will, of course, automatically get into the draw where you could be the lucky winner to go down at the Yas Marina and see what the likes of Sebastian Vettel and the 3-time Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton do best. We'll start, of course, with that sports quiz league. And here, of course, Ssenyange, who has been part of this particular event after round 2. Tell us how the 10 teams have fared from round 2.
Well, there's not been anybody consistent at the top of the table. Betway Agosto just assumed the league lead after round 2. A very exciting round it was. Tokyo 2020, a team of members of the Uganda Olympics Committee.
Quite interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They were the table leaders after round 1. They're currently sitting second, I think 15 points behind, 12 points behind.
12 points
so
behind.
So it's still a tight contest going into the final 2 rounds in October and November.
So when you look at the other, you get us the first 2, when you look at the other 8, any disappointments?
Well, not quite.
Did you expect Agosto to come through?
They've won the quiz. This is their 3rd time out of the 5 we've hosted before, from the beginning of the year. But the quiz league, this is their first in the league itself. But of course, they've been consistent, so the results are not pretty much surprising. What actually got them top was the Sport the Ball Challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, Sport the Ball Challenge. Now, those are our judges, Timothy Cord from Urban, a couple of sports personalities there, the Rugby Cranes captain, and Naomi Kayondo from cricket, and Patricia Polot as well, the kickboxer. So it's one of those things we're trying to do, get the sports personalities, make them the judges, yes, then they can, examine what the sports people actually know. So that's a bit of the exciting bit around it. So The difference between the first and the bottom team is actually 60 points. And you can easily lose that in one night, in one particular session, where if you fail to get 50 points and another actually gets the 50, then the positions change. So it's pretty much that kind of thing where in football you lose a match today and another team picks 3 points and they leapfrog you from 5th to 3rd.
Quite interesting. Jermaine, something you want to chip in on that?
It's a bit hard to actually ask the pundit to explain something about sports, especially if it's a pundit doing a pundit. But Leon, it's been two shows so far, and I think apparently one of the biggest challenges for the sports journalists has been spot the ball. I mean, how is this working? For some reason, there seems to be only one team that seems to know how this is working, the Spot the Ball Challenge.
Well, it's more like a lottery. This is how it works. Every team picks one individual who goes and picks a particular number. The number has a corresponding box to it, and that box has 5 pictures, and the pictures have 4 red spots. So you actually just have to say the ball is in spot 1, yet it's actually in spot 3. So it's just a lottery, and probably if you have luck on your side, like it was for John Vianney, Simbe, and Clive, then definitely, yeah, they scored the most marks.
Or maybe just before we let you go, let's elaborate for the people who do not come through for the sports challenge, the
quiz league, yeah.
For the quiz league, for the people who don't come through, how does the whole format work?
At the beginning, we registered 10 teams. We asked people to register 10 teams. It's not limited to sports journalists, no. We opened it up. So the majority, though, was sports journalists. But then there's I think 4 or 5 other teams that are not entirely of sports. We have students from Makerere University. We have, I think, a couple of doctors in there and people within private business coming in to take part in the quiz league. And yes, the 10 teams registered, and they took part in the first round. That was last month. The answer session, questions in 3 sessions. The first is the phone session, where we give you 10 questions and you have to use your phone in 10 minutes to find the answers. Well, Clive won the Spot the Ball, so he gets a trip for himself to Calabar.
Yeah, obviously, just coming to that.
It had to be Clive.
Well, I don't know how he got the Spot the Ball, but yes, participants answer the first session open. It's called open book. Sometimes the answers are not in Google. The second is the challenge, where it's a picture challenge or spot the ball. Next month, we're planning on doing movies, sports movies. So you have to tell us the main actor and probably the title of the movie. Our third session
you're giving away the...
No, they actually know. I mean, there are million sports movies out there. It goes back to the lottery I was saying. You'll pick a particular number and you'll not know the movie.
Which movie or which particular actor, yes.
Yeah, so the third session is about the multiple choice. You know, the pinky, ponky kind of thing. And yeah, we mix up the answers. And the fourth is the trivia challenge. It's the bonus point.
Okay.
Also, of course, the DSTV challenge, where any of the 10, any member of the group comes forward and answers premiership questions.
We talk about the challenges in there, and if you could just tell us the trickiest or the toughest so far from all the challenges that you have, because
I think everybody was complaining about the spot the ball.
Spot the ball.
Yes.
That's exactly why I was picking it out, and I was like, it had to be Clive, really? It had to be Clive, our own.
Where is the technique when it comes to that? I mean, besides just being lucky and just being...
Talking to some of the members, I think it was about go for the spot where you least expect the ball to be.
But wouldn't you know the players that are literally in that picture or in that particular equation, that they're actually trying to focus on something, an object where you'd want to feel that's where the ball is?
The eyes are deceptive, very deceptive. We had a cricket picture of somebody missing the ball. So their eyes are here and the hands are right here.
How is that possible?
It's possible. The ball was actually behind.
The possibility is the fact that it's not there. That's that's why they gave you the picture. Yeah. That's the deception. But for some, I don't know why. I don't know how Clive and Vianney were doing this.
Well, as for Vianney, yes, he really nailed the picture challenge, the previous one we had last month. He got all 5 of the pictures that were in his box.
No signs of cheating?
And then this month,
30 points. Vianney got 30 points in the Spot the Ball challenge. He lost the playoff with Clive, for the trip to Kalangala. So it was just as exciting. But I really want to appreciate every member of the team that takes part in this particular competition. We look forward to seeing it growing, and I think the momentum is growing slowly by slowly. People are beginning to enjoy it. Quite often we think that we know sports, yet of course we actually don't quite know. One question was the FIH. It's an acronym for which particular federation. And we had 4 options: hurling, hockey, horse riding, and something else
you can't remember right
And
now.
quite often you'll think, okay, maybe it's the horse riding federation, but it's actually
hockey. It's
Yeah.
hockey.
We on our forums we asked about FISA,
Okay.
an acronym for which particular federation.
FISA. FISA
Yes.
is a...
I'm actually thinking our producer might want to put one of these shows just before we get to the grand finale
Absolutely.
on air, because
It'll be very exciting.
Honestly, it's that I've been there, and I was actually watching the one where my big brother Desire was actually a judge.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God I'm not competing. These things go hard.
Yeah,
It
true.
was crazy.
Is it a
good
motive
stuff.
of trying to make them really hard for them not to
No, it's not.
answer
It's-
back,
it's-
or is it just...
The point here is to
It's
challenge
it's
yourself.
jog your
To
memory.
learn.
It's
Yeah.
to jog
Yeah,
your
but
memory.
I mean,
and to learn.
if you're a teacher and you're going to come through with an examination that is pretty very hard, and you know the students haven't probably even read about it, what's the point? That means you
I'll
have
tell you one thing. One of the questions we had on Thursday was the trivia. Who am I? I am known as the Black Pearl. Who am I?
the black pearl.
Patricia Polot.
And she was right in front there as a
She
judge.
was a judge. Either you know or you know. You see, the point is, the questions are not that hard.
Okay.
It's
things
either
we should
it's
know.
a jog your memory.
Yeah.
It's the first time that the teacher has to get
And
to
some
a
are very
brain
simple.
teaser.
I am a former footballer and I'm trying out a professional boxing career. Who am I?
Rio Ferdinand.
Okay.
I think
Fair
I
enough,
could
fair
have done
enough.
well.
If we could just probably just get into the major highlights from round. Obviously, we've seen Clive Chazé winning that trip to Sissi Island. Is he just himself, or he does tag along with
it's a
someone
trip
else?
for 2. He'll take along a friend, family.
Not a guy, definitely.
Well, it's up to him. It's the-
Knowing
the-
Clive,
Okay.
knowing Clive, it may become Kumuchiga.
Oh, no chance. Well, quickly, major highlights from round 2.
Well, round 2 was very exciting. Betway came out strong. Agosto, they came out strong. Clive, of course, sending them top with the Spot the Ball challenge. Then, of course, the multiple choice session, which was a bit challenging for a couple of teams. But, of course, you rack up the points. The trivia, which was Who Am I, was just as well exciting. Yeah, a couple of questions that, like I said earlier, I'm the Black Pearl, but who am I? Yeah, and you know the answer is right in front of you, and you can't really have it off head. Who is the assistant coach of the under-23 Uganda Cranes team? Uganda Cobs team. Yeah. What's
No, don't look at me.
I wouldn't
Even
top
me, I don't have that
I
off my
wouldn't.
head.
Okay, well, that's actually a very tricky one. And
Absolutely. Now that is what the challenge is about, and we look forward to putting in a couple of more challenges with the rounds that will come forward. We're thinking about involving a sports action at the venue itself.
okay.
Play a bit of golf, try and putt, maybe throw a basket here and there.
A few
nature.
darts, maybe.
Those are the new additions for the
Those
next
are the
round.
additions we're planning for the next round, maybe for the finale, maybe for the third round.
Leon, if I may ask, when you look at those questions, you mentioned trickery, you mentioned some of them are not on Google or via Google. Who picks them out? Like, who filters them out? I mean, this is like a group of people that actually comes together and...
Absolutely, we're a group of
I just know.
drive them. You have
I have no say in this because at the end of the day...
Actually, let me pick Nick's mind. I think what he's trying to do here is pay credit, because at the end of the day,
Yeah,
if
they-
you can stand sports journalists and they're like, what the? I think it's fair enough that Leon answers the question, so we know the people who can stand the journalists, the so-called gurus.
It's things you find in a newspaper. You'll flip a paper and look out for one particular column and it has the MVP of schools table tennis. And that in itself is a question. Who is the MVP of the National Schools Tennis 2017?
And that
Or
is
table tennis
nowhere
championship
close to your head. Like, you'd be like,
2017?
Nothing.
And it, of course, you type it out in Google and it
It can't-
isn't there.
no, it's not- it cannot
And
be
you
there.
actually put it in there.
Louis, Hamilton. Is what your name is what your head registers.
But at the end of the day, it's an exciting thing. We hope to make it bigger. Next year, with, of course, partners coming on board, we hope to see that we even have transfers, maybe in the mid-season somewhere, just to try and borrow a few things that excite us in football and repurpose them into this particular league. That's the exciting bit around it. The buying of the players at the beginning of the league this year was just so mesmerizing. Some people actually booked others, and you'd find one individual is being booked by 2 or 3 teams.
Wait, say like Clive has been bought to Tokyo 2020.
Tokyo 2020 or the Eagles.
For what? For what price? This gets better and better.
The problem is Leon is part of this, so he will not say it. Let me put it this way.
I have no idea.
It had to take a full sponsor to get Clive to his team. A full sponsor.
Betway.
And thankfully, by
It had to get a full sponsor.
we are allowing the teams to get sponsors of their own.
Oh, okay.
Agosto got Betway, the Virgins have Aziz Damani. Yeah, so it's let's borrow the things.
It's
that
going
we
to
watch
grow.
on TV.
It's going to grow.
And actually, let me send shouts out to the team that actually got sponsored. It was a good buy. I mean, at least for now, Clive is paying. He's banging on all goals.
Absolutely.
It takes no hype from it that the fact that he's our OB, but yeah, we're good.
And of
like
course,
that.
it goes without thanking everybody that is part of this, the partners that have come on board. We have companies that are supporting sports nationwide. Yeah. So HIMA is actually on board.
Kickboxing, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Rugby, everywhere.
Absolutely. DSTV is in sports and they're in swimming.
And it's good to see
First
them
one,
come
even
through,
in
yeah.
Basketball, I remember El Capitano, Flash was.
Flash was also
on
there.
this one. Yes.
So Post Bank is there. Rock Boom is in motorsport. They are part of the quiz league. Cinema Magic is trying to bring these people to come on board.
And I would like to believe that everyone who affiliates with success always gets something in return, and they've seen the fruits of this particular sports quiz. And I believe that next season we'll attract more numbers.
We hope so.
Hopefully more teams. Is there any chance of expanding those from 10 to 20?
Maybe making divisions.
Oh, divisions.
Maybe divisions, then have them go through a playoff at the end of somewhere. We'll develop these kind of things as we. The first round for us is a learning process.
Okay.
Let's see how the quiz works out. Yeah, and the success of it gives us the planning for
the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. But the key thing for us in the quiz league, and especially around sports, is to tell companies out there that there are avenues where you can put your money in sports. It doesn't have to be $1 million. It doesn't have to be $100 million or 50 million. There are cost-effective areas in which you can leverage on sports in this country. Yeah, and one of them is the Sports Quiz League. Very simple, easy platform, but gets as many as 60 people on one particular night just to enjoy sports. Yeah, and test their knowledge on sports. And pretty much exciting.
Maybe just before I let Nick let you go, Leon, we have talked about this quiz. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty fantastic. My mom is watching this show because, well, it's a given. My mom always watches this show. And she probably would be wondering, how does she, the non-sporting person, get to know where the show is going to be? Because, trust me, she would want to be a part of it. She's shouting at the back, who is Uganda's top scorer? Edson Cavani, like, it's not Edson Cavani.
We have, we're on Facebook, Sports Quiz League. If somebody can follow us there, we always throw every detail there is. We are on Twitter as well. Squiz League UG. You can follow us there. Just as much, we're on Instagram, Squiz League. Yeah. And plus the different social media platforms, especially WhatsApp, where many of the participants are. But we've made Route 256 our home, Route 256 opposite the Uganda Olympics Committee, at least for this season. If the numbers grow, then probably we'll be looking out for a football field.
It's going to grow.
To host the people.
Well, as they're going, you had better start planning.
Of course. We're seeing how the...
As it's going,
and we
better
actually
start planning.
love to have the funds around. Because the setup is such that the participants are in one particular area.
And the audience is the other side.
And the audience is on the other side. Now we have rules. Some of the fans know the answers. And they shout out the answers.
And that's not allowed.
Trust me, you'll be kicked out.
Okay, and just
the fan.
The fan.
Yes.
Just to
It
get...
actually happened in round one.
Yeah.
There's a couple of fans who I know are sports journalists, and the boot was hard. And then they complained on social media.
Leon, just to
so
ca-
you. Yes, Nick.
Leon, just to cover up the whole thing, this is a very big project, and I believe it's going to become bigger come next season. Do you have any intentions of having, say, a live coverage on telly, like
Absolutely.
getting TV rights or something?
We are really grateful for what Urban TV is doing. They are our media partners in this particular league. They're giving us slots every time we have about the quiz league, and for everybody to know out there. Of course, the bigger it gets, the more people it should be able to attract. Yeah, and we entirely invite whoever has the capacity to set up a live production of the quiz, or even post-recorded. Yeah, would definitely be welcome for those kind of opportunities. It's not entirely an expensive venture. No, it's just about planning. Yeah, and knowing what you need to do, and how you have to set up, and you have the quiz league rolling. It's an entirely different process towards enjoying sports.
So literally in summation, you're saying Urban TV is going to be handling this, but just because you haven't said Urban TV, it's going to be Urban TV either way.
Well, it takes a process. It takes a process. What comes
Noted. Noted. Senior producer Desire, I know you're watching.
Would be keen to have them around. You know.
Senior producer Desire is watching.
It's
So
something interesting, and I think it's going to grow very big,
will grow.
bigger than you think.
It will grow.
Any chance you have plans of it actually crossing borders and you know?
Let's start small. It's baby steps. Yeah, we've started with a small. Would certainly love to see it grow. We started on January the 17th, the day Uganda played Ghana
Okay.
in the Africa Cup, with a group of 15 people, and we just did questions around the Africa Cup and Uganda's participation, and there was demand for the next quiz. We looked around for partners, and the numbers grew from 15 to about 28. 4 teams, 5 teams. The third one, there was more demand. We had 7 teams, and we're thinking, why not change it into a league? From 7 now we have 10. 10 times 5 is 50 people, plus the substitutes they get to use.
The full substitutes.
And they only use 2.
2, oh,
They
okay.
can only use 2 substitutes. So it's about 70 people. Yeah. Then the fans themselves. So the numbers are growing. How we take it step by step will determine.
I'm hoping you don't hike in that registration fee from where it is.
And I think one of the things that really lends credibility to this league is the judges and how good they
Absolutely.
are. So just give us a run through so far. How many judges have we used,
had?
and how credible are they? Because at least one thing I've noticed is, so these judges, you can't argue with them. They are the sport.
Straight up.
Yeah, we've one of the major things is to ensure that we encourage anybody who loves sports
To come
Not
through.
so often do we know the sports personalities, and it's quite amazing how a rugby player meets a kickboxer, and hi, I am Brian Odong, I am the captain of the rugby team, and you know Patricia.
Like,
hi, I am Patricia.
I am the Black Pearl.
Yes, that in itself is so strong.
It's a good blend.
It's a very good blend. So we've had the cricket captain, Davis Karashani, Brian Odongo, the captain of the rugby team, Hassan Waswa, the vice captain of the Uganda Cranes, has been around, Patricia Polot, Flavia from basketball has come around, Naomi Kayondo has come around from cricket. And with every quiz round, we hope to look for somebody else from somewhere, from volleyball, from rugby, from a new sport to come and be part of this. And it is just so amazing how you see the connection between the rugby captain and the basketballer, and how they're different worlds, but get to meet and know how the others, do it for you guys.
Before we talk about the Uganda Cranes, quickly, when does round 3 start?
We are going to have a meeting yet again.
Okay.
October is pretty occupied, with a couple of sports activities.
Being occupied.
Yeah, very, very occupied. So we plan for anything for a day on a Thursday after 20th October.
Okay.
Yes.
Game on. It's game on. We are big on sports. Big on sports.